Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and in this video, I'm going to tell you some extreme ways to actually save money. However, I gotta tell you two things, okay? First things first, this video is not disgusting, okay? I'm not going to tell you, hey, you gotta reuse mouthwash to save money, or reuse your bath water. Those things, although they save you money, they make me gag, and I feel like they're disgusting, so that's not what this video is about. It's extreme, but not to that level. Second thing, okay guys, these things I am gonna tell you though, although they're not that extreme, they are very different from what the average person actually does. And like I always say, okay guys, if you want change, you can't stay the same, okay? Because the things I'm gonna tell you are things that people say, hey, why are you doing that for? Isn't that inconvenient? So this video right here, honestly, it's not for everyone. It's for the people out there that have a financial goal, whether it's, hey, I want to save my first 1,000 or 10,000. I want to start investing money. I want to be debt free. Like whatever it is, like financial goals as far as that, this video is for you. But if it's just like, I just want to do this, you're probably not going to last because these things, they're not easy. They take habit building, okay? So hopefully this video actually helps you. And in this video, I'm going to break it down to 3 sections. I have time codes, by the way. But the idea is, first section is basically the small things to save money on, then the large things, and then basically the biggest things out there to save money on. And all together, if you watch this video and you take everything into consideration, it can save you not hundreds, but tens of thousands of dollars. And I really do mean that, okay? Trust me, like you'll see by the end of this video. But do me a favor, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified. Now, before the video gets started, guys, I do have 2 things to ask you to actually do. First of all, have a goal in mind. So what is your goal? Is it to say, for example, your first 500 or your first 1,000 or your first 10,000? On top of that, once you have that goal in mind, make sure you have, for example, a powerful why. Just saying, I want more money, I don't want to live with my parents, that's not powerful enough because when things get hard and difficult, you're going to switch off. So my why, for example, is, hey, I want to have control and independence over my life so that way I'm not basically on the hinge of anybody else, okay? And the way you get to a powerful why, I follow this exercise and it's called basically ask yourself why 7 times. So why do you want to save money this way? Well, I want to save money to have some money on the side. Why is that important to you? And you keep going and going and going until you get to the deepest why ever. Write it down, have your goal, and that way you can basically guarantee almost, well, not guarantee, nothing's guaranteed, but you're going to basically have a more likelihood of actually getting to whatever your goal actually is. If you don't have a why and you don't have a goal, you're like a chicken without a head trying to get directions, okay? I will show the video, but I will get demonetized and probably banned from YouTube. But take me at my word, you don't want to be a chicken without that, all right? You just don't. Now, the very first thing, guys, is basically, how do you save money on the small things? And I have to say something, like honestly, when I did this, guys, I didn't do it because, oh my gosh, this would be so cool, I want to try. No, I did it out of necessity. I was 19 years old. I was in college. I owed $13,000 in student loan debt at the time. I also owed $2,000 on a credit card, $2,000. And on top of that, I only had one source of income, which made me $60 a week. And every single day when I went to school, I had to ask my mom for $10, okay? Shout out to my mom, but at age 19, being a guy, like, I don't want to ask you for money, okay? So every time I did that, it was like super embarrassing. But here are the things I basically save money on. The small things that basically add up to a lot of money. First things first, okay guys? Haircuts. Believe it or not, I always look fresh, you know, with the waves and the nice hairline and my mustache and my beard is always done, right? But I do my own thing, okay? I bought a little machine for $40 and I no longer go to the barbershop every week paying $20, which costs me around $1,040 a year, which means I save $1,000 a year by cutting my own hair. And to me, that is awesome. And by the way, if you're a girl, a female, that means the salon, the nail salon, the eyelash stylist, or whatever it is, learn to do those things on your own and just buy the machine and the nail polish and all the products you basically need and just do it at home and save a lot more money. Like all those little things, they add up. And whenever you have, for example, a small bill, multiply it to get the yearly cost. you would be surprised because $1,000 for haircuts a year is a lot of money, especially when you invest it over the long term, okay? That's all I'm saying. Now, second thing here is I also save money on subscriptions. Not just, for example, Netflix and Hulu, but no, also like the big ones, like my phone bill. I was paying like $150 for the entire family, and I was like, yo, it's been great, guys, but I'm out. I can't keep paying this anymore. So now I went from, for example, the big companies like T-Mobile and Verizon and, for example, AT&T. Now I have like a third-party company called Mint Mobile, where I only pay $30 a month, which basically means I only pay around $360, which is a lot better than paying $1,800 a year, meaning I'm saving a lot of money. So subscriptions, know them and know which ones to cut and know which ones to switch over. That way you can save a bunch of money also. Also, going out with friends, okay? If you tell me who your friends are, I will tell you who you will be in life, okay? My mom always used to tell me that exact same quote, and it's very true. If your friends, not friends, if your friends are spenders, basically, most likely you're gonna be a spender. And, you know, doing this journey on your own is not really that fun or as fun, although you might have to in the beginning. But it's good to have some friends that say like, hey, you know what? I want to save money too. So let's work out a way to save money together on whatever we're doing. And to me, that's awesome. So having good friends around you that won't be like, hey, let's go to this party this weekend or to the club this weekend, or let's compete with each other on which shoes we have and what purse do you have? Like, oh, your nails are not done. Like all those things, they're like just spending way too much money. Not my type of vibe, and also probably like not my type of friends. Just being honest, just being real. I'm fairly cheap, and so are my friends. Frugal, I should say, because we're also very good investors at the same time. Then on top of that, I always buy used, and I always buy quality things. My mom used to have the habit where she would buy very cheap things, but not quality. So they would always break down. I'll be like, okay, now you gotta buy a new one, what's the point? So me personally, whenever I buy my phones, I buy quality cell phones, right? iPhones usually, with you know, like not too old, but like usually like 2 generations like last, you know, so it's like a 10, we're in 13 right now, really don't care. But I buy used and this quality product, so it lasts me a very long time. Also, the last thing to save money on the small things is basically, you know, like the small things like gas and discounts and so on. There's an app called Gas Buddy. There's also apps to save money on groceries. So all these little things, like they help. So if you don't know about, for example, what app can I use to save money on, Google it. What app can I use to save money on groceries? Google it. What about Amazon coupons? Google it. It is all out there. All these apps exist, so take advantage of them. But just like that, guys, those right there are the small things to save money on, and that's basically a few $1,000s every single year. At least for me it was. It saved me like around $3,000 to $5,000 a year, and that money was used to invest money and make me more money. So it helped me out massively. Now, for the second part of this video, okay? Tommy, what about the large things in life, okay? The larger things, for example, like food. Now, believe it or not, I was, kind of still am, a foodie. I used to buy food every single day outside of my home, and that cost me a lot of money. Basically, I was a college student that basically said, hey, all my money, it really does go towards food, and that's really not what you want to do. So, I've learned this, okay? If you're broke, or if you have a goal, you don't have to eat ramen. You don't, okay? But what I am willing to do, for example, is, hey, I'm willing just to eat, for example, some rice, some beans, and also some chicken. You know, I'm from a third world country, and I never understood why did we always eat that as kids, because basically we didn't have that much money, and it was basically nutrients rich. So it gets you everything you need right there, but for a cheap side, and you also get a little salad here and there, and then boom, you're good to go. Saves you a lot of money. And also, consider getting, for example, a crock pot. I hate the name, honestly, crock pot, but also go on Google and type in, for example, crock pot recipes, and you'll find basically a bunch of different cheap ways to prepare food, like delicious food, and actually cook at home and actually eat at home and take it to work and all that cool stuff. But it's a great way to save money. Instead of spending like $400 a month, you spend like $200 or $150. Saves you a bunch of money. Trust me. Second thing, okay, guys? Car. I like cars as much as the next guy, but me personally right now, all the cars that I buy, they're used, because it basically means, hey, you bought a car brand new, 5 years later, I buy it for half the price. It's just a good deal. And if it's in good condition, I can basically get another 5 years out of it. But one big thing is basically, I do want to switch cars like every 5 years. So what do you do then, okay? Well, how about you buy your car in cash? I did that. My car costs around $9,000. You don't have to get one that expensive. You can get one for like $2,000 or $5,000. But I bought my car in cash. But guess what? I'm not paying a car payment. So who can I pay money to? Myself. I can say, well, I'm going to take whatever the car payment was going to be, send it over, for example, to my checking accounts, and basically have that money there. And at the end of the 5 years, I can basically use that money to buy me my next car in cash, with also the additional money once I sell the old car also. So, example, you buy a used car for $2,000. You ride it for 5 years. And in the 5 years, you save, for example, $166 every single month. By the end of those 5 years, you're going to have around $10,000 exactly, because 60 months. And guess what? 10,000, you sell the car for maybe like $500. Guess what? You have 10,500 to buy yourself a very good car. So that's what I do to save a lot of money, especially when it comes to cars. Third thing here for the big things, okay? Third thing here for the big things. Same thing with vacations. You know, I'm not against going on vacations. Again, this video is not that extreme. I went on vacation in January. I'm going again in January. But the point is, I save money to go on vacation. So I'm able to do these things. So if you know, hey, I want to go on vacation once a year, and it's going to cost me, for example, $1,000. Well, what can you do about it? You say, well, I know $1,000, and I want to save, for example, divided by 52 weeks in a year. Let's say, hey, I just gotta save $20 a week, and then by the end of the year, I have $1,000 for vacation. You do that, you can go on vacation every single year without having to worry about credit card problems, okay? To me, that's awesome. Also, saving money on paying off debt. I use the avalanche method. So that means you pay the debt with the highest APR, which mathematically will save you more money. But additionally, stop going into debt, stop using the credit card. All those things, they're kind of doing bad to you. So I would stay away from that altogether. But I would use the avalanche method if I want to save money on paying off my debt. And also, I would just focus on paying off debts and really nothing else. Also, last thing here when it comes to the large things is follow the 3-day rule, aka the 72-hour rule. Whatever you want to buy, especially furniture and whatever big thing it is, just hold off for 3 days and really think about it and decide, hey, do I want this, or is it just impulsive? And usually after the 3 days, you probably won't even want it. And by the way, I should mention that when it comes to buying quality used things, it's not just phones. It's also, for example, clothes, sneakers, and books. And you might ask me, Tommy, you really buy used clothes? The answer is, you know, I come from a third world country. So for the first 2.5 years of my life, I was walking around naked, like with a little boxer brief, because we didn't have that much money for clothes. And also, most of my clothes, whenever I was done with them and they were used, I would give them to my brothers, because basically they also needed clothes. So I never had a problem with going to a thrift store or Red Cross and basically saying, hey, let me buy this t-shirt for $1, and then basically wash it and now have a quality t-shirt just like that. These days, I have a little budget for clothes. You know, I spend like $5 on a t-shirt, not that much. And then I basically buy whatever I want to buy. But if you really want to be extreme, go into Goodwill. I love Goodwill. You can buy like 50 t-shirts for like $50, which is awesome. You can buy whatever you want to buy there. My sneakers, the one I just bought recently, I bought them used. They go for $180, $160. They're Adidas NDMIs. I forgot what the name is. And I bought them for $60 because they're used, but they're quality and they still look brand new and they still have the thread in. So that's awesome. So don't be afraid to buy used things that are quality things. And when you do get those looks, you'll never see me on the streets looking like you got a problem. Like this guy looks like he's had a rough year. Like, no, I look great. I like haircut is on fleek. Got my glasses on, got some nice t-shirt, got some nice jeans on, some nice sneakers always. But you wouldn't know that all these things are used, okay? So yeah, save a lot of money, but I still look great. I like looking great. I like feeling great. But I'm not gonna spend thousands of dollars on some Gucci jeans or whatever they are, okay? Now, last thing here, the largest things that you could basically save money on. These are the biggest things right here, okay? So first things first, the house you buy. I'm no longer talking about a haircut for 20 bucks. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars. I follow a simple rule. The home I buy cannot exceed 33% of my monthly income on a 15-year mortgage. Meaning, hey, Tommy, this means that if I have an income of $4,000, I'm not going to spend, multiply by 0.33, 33%, which basically tells you 1/3. Guess what? I'm not going to spend more than $1,320 on this mortgage, insurance, taxes, maintenance, everything. That way you save a lot of money. People tend to go out there, buy a house they can't afford, and then they say to themselves, why is it I have no money? Why is it I'm broke? Because all the money is going to this house. Don't do it like that, okay? Just make sure it's not that crazy of a house. And you can always upgrade eventually, okay? So you don't need to buy your forever home, your first home. The home I just bought, it's not my forever home. It's like a home that I got that I'm going to use for 5 years and probably just upgrade in the next 5 years and sell that one and take that cash and do whatever I want with it, okay? That's how you do it. Now, also, second thing here for big things, okay? This one is more like personal, but the person you marry, your partner, can basically cost you a lot of money, save you a lot of money, or make you a lot of money. Now, I'm not saying the person you marry has to be, for example, super financial, cheap, whatever, but it is important you marry someone that, for example, has similar goals to you. So if your goal is financial freedom and their goal is how fast can I spend it, probably not going to be that great, right? So always just check people out for 12 to 18, 24 months before you say, hey, yeah, let's get married and just screw everything. No, think about the financial aspect also. Third, college, super expensive, you know, can cost you $30,000, $40,000. I have friends still drowning in debt. It happens, okay? So my advice would be simple. Go to community college first, get the gen ed courses, while you're there, get a job, save money for those 2 years, and then use that money to pay for the college you actually want to go to, transfer the credits, and then basically you still graduate in those 4 years, but you get to graduate debt-free and apply for at least over 300 to 200 scholarships, and I guarantee while you work that you will also graduate debt-free. It's the long road. I make it sound simple, but it's hard to apply for 200 to 300 scholarships, to go to community college, and to also work and save a lot of money and not spend your money with all of the, hey, let's go out, hey, let's buy this, hey, let's buy that. But it is possible. I know people have done it, and I'm jealous they did it because I didn't do it. Now, fourth thing here, asking for a pay raise, okay? And then acting like you didn't get one. So people, if you got a job, you haven't gotten a raise in a while, but you think you deserve it because you put in the work and you know exactly how to ask for a raise, do YouTube, just YouTube it, how to ask for a raise. You'll come up with some good strategies and ideas. But the idea is ask for a raise, and when you get the raise, don't spend the money on stupid stuff. Use that money to either invest, pay off your debt, save for emergencies, or just have a savings account. So that way, that extra money doesn't change your lifestyle. It basically just improves your wealth factor, which is very important. And the last part here, guys, is basically where you live. You know, where I live, I have most likely, I'm going to say, I'm on the upper tier of income. Although I could live, for example, somewhere where I'm just like the average person there, where the neighborhood is very expensive. No, I choose to live in a very modest, average neighborhood. So guess what? I'm not tempted because my neighbor has this fancy Rolls Royce or fancy BMW or fancy Mercedes, or everything is more expensive in this area because these people have money and the rent is more expensive, the house is more expensive. No, I'd rather live somewhere, nice area of course, safe area of course, good quality people, but not like the bougie type, because then things can be very expensive. But that's it, guys, okay? So far, you know the small things, the large things, and the biggest things. But that's it. This whole thing right here that I gave you in this video can save you tens of thousands of dollars, like legit, like literally. So take this advice, add it to your life, change some things here and there, but don't change it too much, because you can say, well, I don't want to do this, but I want to do that. Just be realistic. And let me know in the comments down below, okay? What is your goal for this year? Do you want to save your first 1,000, first 10,000, first 20,000? Comment down below. Let me know. And also, what's your why? Like, why do you actually want to do this? Like, a real why. Not just like I just want to do it because I want to do it. Nah, give me a real answer. Like I'm interested, okay? And I'll be in the comments answering all the comments as always. And as always, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified. And top up if you want to call me, free calls, link down below. Register, the calls are free for 15 minutes. And if you want to DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. And before I go, more content here and here. By the way, this video right here is on investing. And here's my face. Click it and subscribe. Peace out. Long-term team is officially out.